Hi, Rizwan. So glad you joined us. I am excited to hear about everything you have to say and whatever tips you have for us. Um, why don't you just start off by telling me a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Hey, Kayla, it is amazing and it's my pleasure to be here. So I am a content curator right now, full time. I've been working like till last week, but I quit the job to basically follow my passion. And that's what I am doing right now. Apart from that, I'm also a growth consultant. I work with startups and brands to build their brands digitally, basically, and also with their strategies for developing their companies as well. So I am a mentor and a coach, and I kind of help people with productivity. So I'm a kind of a enthusiast over learning and productivity. So that's basically like in a short word, like in short words, who I am or what I do. And also I'm still trying to figure it out, like what I'm actually gonna do and who I really am. So I think that's the process, the whole process. But right now, I think this is what I do.
Yeah, I can relate when you say you're trying to figure out who you are. These things in life, you never know which way it's going to take you. So where were you previously working before you started content creation?
I've been working with an edtech company for 3 years, for the past 3 years, and I've been leading the operations over there, like managing teams, helping with building teams over there, and running the teams and scaling them. So that's what pretty much what I've been doing for the last 3 years. It's been an amazing ride. Then I thought, okay, maybe this is a good job. This is like paying me, pay my bills, and everything was doing fine. But I wondered more exciting things for me. So I thought, okay, maybe this is the right time for me to think about that. So that's what I have been doing. So yeah, basically that's the pretty much the thing. Like I work closely with people on a daily basis to help them understand the process from the beginning till the end of like where like what they have been doing or what they do in a company.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So I also noticed that you're a part of Connecttree. Is that your company, or tell me a little bit about that?
It's not a company. It's basically a passion project. It's a community, basically. Connecttree is a community of people that we have from all around the world. We really bond over science, technology, books, fiction, non-fiction, arts, and whatever is there under the planet. So it's basically a place where people can come and learn and understand. So we're there to help out each other. So it's a, you can think of like as a non-profit uh, something. So where like we have a team where a group of people, so every month we kind of organize different events and we choose a book, we read books, we discuss them, and we kind of help each other grow over there, and we kind of get to know each other and be there for each other as well. So we create a safe space for everyone to come and be there, because I feel that, over this fast paced world, we don't get a place or a time to basically slow down things. So that's what we do in Connecttree. So we come together to basically help each other slow down on day-to-day basis, and to understand each other well, and to understand primarily themselves really well, and work on themselves to get better in life.
I also noticed another area that you are in, and that's podcasting. So I see that you have a self-improvement podcast. Is that right?
Yeah, you're right. So I do run a podcast. It's called The Mallu Show. And currently, it's a regional language podcast. It's not in English. It's in a language called as Malayalam, which is the native language of the God's own country, Kerala of India. So I come from that place. And right now, I would say it's one of the top podcasts over there. So it's the number one self-improvement podcast in Malayalam. So I've started last year. Last It's almost a year plus, like a year plus right now, what I've been doing over there. So I do create content every week as as a podcast, and I do release there. So I'm very fortunate. As I said, I work closely with a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, and like even like high profile people, that most of the people from like at my age or my area don't get a chance to. So as I have that privilege, I make sure that the conversations, I bring those conversations into people, and also whatever the things that I'm figuring out and I'm learning on a day-to-day basis, I give it to people, along with you know uh, how I figure it out as well. So I bring in people to basically grow in life, because I feel that that is something that we all have to do. Because as in the movie Into the Wild, we have all seen happiness is real when it is shared. So I feel that you have to share whatever you gain in the world, and it only multiplies for you and for everyone as well. So that's what I do on a like on a weekly basis. And yeah, and that's been quite a ride. And I've been someone who used to quit a lot of things. I've been someone like who you can call as multi-potentialite, and I've had multiple interests. So I've tried a lot of things and quit a lot of things, but this is something that hooked me up, and I'm just literally getting started up with that.
What inspired you to make such empowering content? Like, how did you get on this journey of self-growth?
It's a question that I've asked like 2 years before, because I was struggling with my mental health and my personal goals back then. Because a few years ago, I had to be like go through a trauma that really hooked me up with a lot of issues, a lot of troubles. And I've been, consulting psychiatrists and psychologists 2 years before. And while I was, but it took me a lot of time to basically figure out that I need to consult. Because over here, I think when you compare India and, whether it is like US or the Western countries, here it is it's a taboo basically to go visit a therapist or to consult people over there. So I was kind of as a secret, even without the knowledge of my parents or my close people, I was going to therapy and treating myself get better. And in that journey, I understood that, okay, it's not just me. There are a lot of people who struggle with a lot of mental issues, mental health issues, that on a daily basis that they don't even recognize or understand that. And over here again, when we kind of understand, we talk about the basics needs once it is covered, when we compare again, even yesterday, I've been talking this with friends, once the basic needs are done, then all the psychological needs are done, then we go for like the self actualization, or working on yourself. But over here, we are still always running on the basic needs. We don't even think or talk or understand or even consider developing yourself or growing as a person. That's not something as Indians we do we do consider most of the time. So once I realized the fact that it is not just me, it's a lot of people, especially a lot of my close people, like my close people, even my friends, my family, and a lot of people I've observed them struggling a lot, even not having an idea or even not having a knowledge to basically figure out or understand whom to go or whom to reach out. So I've had a lot of times in my life where I thought, okay, if at all I had a person to basically help me listen or something. So that's how it basically gave me an idea. Okay, maybe this is something that I would do if I were to do something. And the primary reason was I wanted to quitting. And my therapist told me that, okay, you need to have something that will help you be consistent at something. Then I thought, okay, I just took a decision to basically show up every week to create a video of whatever it was. Just the idea is just that. And when I thought of the subject, okay, I was learning about myself, and I was in that process of growing in life. And I thought, okay, and as I understood that, okay, it's not just me, I took it as my purpose to basically help people. Because as far as I've understood, my parents have brought me up as a person who really who helped, like taught me help people as well. So I thought maybe I'll just do that. And I was just waiting, just postponing again and again and again. And I was once sitting in a cafe with friends, and a small kid came and asked me if I am a content creator. So that was a sign for me to basically, kind of a manifestation somewhere just being answered. Okay, this is the thing. This is the time you have to start right now. So I just went and just started to do something. And one day I took a decision. Okay, I'm going to create content from this week. I just went on and started doing that. So basically, it all started from a struggle that I have been through. And once I just been through that, I have overcome that fear or that insecurity, that struggle of mine. I understood that, okay, I can maybe use that experience or even the journey that I've decided to go on to bring it on to more people. So that's how it started, and that's how it's also going. After the post-COVID phase, especially in India, we have seen a sudden surge in the cases where people struggling with depression and even other disease, like other illnesses, especially depression. But people even don't get to address that or go consult people because of the norms set by other people as well. So slowly things are changing in over here as well, but I hope like it get to change for better really soon for people, and they get to explore their inner freedom and inner peace as well.
What are some of the goals or milestones you have set to accomplish this year?
I really have huge plans. I have bigger plans, and I recently turned like couple of months ago. I turned 25, and I've decided that the next 25 years of my life would be something that I would be really proud of, and I really want to, you know, spread the voice or to help more people and to reach more people. So this year I've taken a decision to basically talk with 100,000 people and through live sessions. So that's one of the bigger plans of the projects I have, and I've already started. It's already going really well. Other plans, like, I've been always, I had a lot of dreams which I've been keep on postponing, like creating content or educating people. So once I've understood, okay, these are something that all have something in common, I decided to jump in, then think later. So other plans, like one of the plans is basically reaching out to 100,000 people. Another plan is basically, again, whatever I'm doing right now, I want to do it better and learn more from even better people. And I really know that I'm just starting up. So I just want to make sure that I learn better, I make mistakes, and I give myself that freedom to make mistakes. So I would say one of the biggest milestones that I've never given myself is to make mistakes, and also to say no to things. So I'm gonna take that this year. And also, as I've told you, like, here again, there are a lot of taboos. Like when like, I think we can really kind of take it like a differentiation or like distinguish between like the different things that are like taboo in over here and over like in US or like other countries. So here again, quitting a job is basically like the biggest thing that people are going to question you, which might not be the same over the other countries. So as I've quit my job to basically pursue my passion full time, that's going to be a struggle again, because again, over here, basically managing the questions that you're going to ask is something. So what I'm going to like the one of the bigger plans again I have is again to make sure that to prove myself and whoever that questions me that the decision I've taken, and it's always about following passion and following your inner voice and working on yourself. And even if you make mistakes, it's fine and all that. So I think it's basically ensuring that my purpose align with my vision, and what is needed at the right, like at this time as well. So I think these are the bigger plans. And also apart from that, if you want, like if I talk more about the specifics, I'm gonna there is a book of mine which is going to come. I'm working on that. And there are like more of I've just started with workshops and help people, like mentoring people and all that. So I'm going to go on with that. And yeah, I think I'll be able to help more and more people. So that's what the goal is right now. So I think for me personally, to be satisfied as who I think I am, I think I need to reach out to more people and help them. I think I find joy in people because I'm a people person. I connect with people, and I really want to make a difference for them. So I think every time I speak somewhere on any stage, on any audience, I always make sure that I say make a difference, because it's not just your life, because we're all connected with each other and we have to make a difference in each other's life as well. So I think that's the purpose and the milestones and the goals what I've set for next few years.
So, thinking about your goals and ideas, how important do you think it is to keep track of your goals and ideas?
I think it is very important, extremely important, to be aware of your goals and to track them on a day-to-day basis or a daily basis, because we're all conditioned on a different scale by multiple factors, by in a different way. And as we go on, every time the goals, as we have just discussed, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to say this and that. And if we are not aware of our goals, if you're not tracking them, if you're not having a control over what we really want to pursue and what we really want to do, I think it's going to be really difficult, because I think you're going to go somewhere. It's like you want to go somewhere, but you don't know where you want to go. And I think if you don't have a vision that is set clear, that you don't like, and I'm not saying like you have to set it like way beyond years and all that, but the next steps that you need to figure it out. And I think you have to have bigger goals, you have to have smaller goals, tasks, steps, and a route that you need to go on one by one as well. Because I think only if you are focused, you can basically make a difference in your life, or you can set or define a particular definition of success for yourself. And for that, I think being focused starts with tracking yourself and your goals and your dreams and your aspirations and all the ideas that you have. And all of that, once you just change somewhere and you go somewhere, if you just reach somewhere, it takes again time to come back. So I think it's always better to track and go in the right path than go somewhere, explore, and come back. It might take time, it might be good for some people, but again, it's always better to make sure that you're on the right path and you go in the right way. Because I feel that it's very easy to get distracted and reach somewhere, and you might even not know that you are somewhere until and unless something happens. So it's always better to have control, and to basically do things to help you have control. Because again, not everything might not be in our control, but you can do something to basically have a control of your life. So I think for that, you need to track goals, and you need to have control over them, because focus is everything.
So I want to take a step back and talk again about your following on social media. How did you get and maintain such a large following from beginning to end? I mean, your engagement is awesome. People like your post. You make posts constantly. How did you do that?
There was only one, like, two words that I would stress out, and I've been giving to everyone. That is, one, experimentation, and two, consistency. So I've been doing that not for very long time now, but for almost more than 1.5 years plus. It'll be like I started in the January of last year. So since then, since I think the like couple of months before, I was just having a very small following, but I was consistently creating content. I was experimenting and understand what people really want, and I was basically learning about people and what kind of things they need and what problems they're going through, basically creating engagement with them, talking with them on a day-to-day basis, understanding their problems, and then creating content on that. So what I believe is that to grow anywhere, first thing is obviously learning. And for that, you need to experiment, you need to try out different things, and you need to observe. Basically, you need to be a person who's aware and vigilant about whatever is happening in and around you. And the second thing is consistency. So anything and everything, what I've been doing, like I've always been questioned, like, why do you want to do this? Because nothing is changing. It was just like, in the mid of May, I had only around somewhere like 3,000 followers or something. Then all of a sudden, like, things started to change because of traction that I was getting, because of the consistent post that I was going to create. So like I was creating, and that ultimately creates more and more people to visit your page, or like to visit your like feed where you are. And what you need over there every time to get, suppose, let's say, a new follower or like a new person to be there in your own journey, is to basically have value over there present for them. And I've been creating that value since day one, because consistently I've been not looking at numbers, but only thinking about providing good post or like good content over there. And at one point, as you constantly do this, if like, even if you want to consider like the algorithm or the games or whatever it is, it'll take that, because as you're like, you get that small visibility that becomes, in not in just a linear way, it's going to be exponential later on. So that happened, and eventually, like after that, it was again, it's a compounding that happens. So once you set the foundation, once you set the basics, what happens is ultimately as the foundation is set, then it just goes on. So I always take in two examples whenever I talk about this. Basically, it's like bamboo. Like bamboo, basically, it for few years, bamboo doesn't show any growth because it sets the root fix for many years. And after that, once the roots are set, it just grows like as a spurt happens. That's one thing. And again, what I've observed is that if you want to grow in a really better way, if you want to make sure that you are someone who is as valuable as the numbers say, because again, in this world right now, the numbers really speaks for a lot of things. So I've been not focusing on the numbers. I've been focusing on creating value for people and also for value for me as well, because I was making sure that I am at least growing as a person, because I was my first and foremost critic, audience, listener, whoever it was. So I made sure that I learned through that, and I make sure that all the mistakes I could make, I made it, and I gave myself all the freedom to do that. And over the time, I made sure that I set the foundation really like strong, and I've connected, I kind of knew everyone who I was following, who was following me, and I had connections with them. So I was understanding, learning, and how their mind works, what they need, what their problems are on a day-to-day basis. So I was kind of a friend to them. And then I build on top of the problems that they need, because ultimately I feel that if you want to grow at anything in life, you need to keep on providing value. So that's what the answer is. It's like keep on providing value, experiment with that, learn and understand people, and do that over a period of time. Don't look at the numbers will automatically happen as on the side, but it's always about providing value, and it will just happen eventually. And it's always a compounding effort that's going to happen. And once you reach a particular point, it's going to, like, if it's a double, it's going to be a quadruple, and it's going to be like that. It's not even going to be a normal compounding. It's going to be a way higher, different way of compounding that is basically happening.
Would you
Yeah.
say that you would have thought that you would end up where you are currently, as far as the amount of followers, the people who want to hear what you have to say? Did you think that's where you would end up?
Uh, I would say it's a yes and no, because I knew that uh, if I put in something, because I understood from the beginning itself I was good at it, because even if the traction or the engagement or something that I was receiving, I was getting quality people to come and engage with me on a personal level, on DMs and on messages, on calls and all that. So I was making sure, okay, whatever I'm putting in, it has value over there. So I was sure that, okay, it's going to happen one day. One day it's going to be big, and I was preparing myself for that. But what I would suggest is, I didn't expect it to be this quick, and I didn't want it to be this quick. I wanted to be really slow, because I wanted to get to know everyone that is coming into my circle and to serve them on their level, and to help them with their purpose, and to align them with the purpose that I have in life as well, to create more service minded people and to create a difference in the world. So that is one thing that I wanted. But I was sure that if I were to be frank, I was prepping myself to be big and to make it big, because I knew I could make it, and I was having that that thing in me, because I think that not everyone can be everything, but we can try to be things, and we can experiment that. And whole my life I've been experimenting with different things, whether it is like business, whether it is movies, whatever it is. Like, I've been experimenting with different things, and this once I found this, I understood that, okay, I was good at this, and I was ready to build my skills. So that was something that I've been doing then. So I knew that, okay, one day it is going to happen, but I would say it was kind of soon. That's what I said. Like, the compounding happens in a way crazier manner once it reaches a particular stage. So it's all about going again and again.
What is one piece of advice that you would give to others that you've learned in life that has kept you on the right track to become successful?
I think there are a couple of things. As I said, one thing would be, this, like, if you want to grow really better, and if you want to reach where you really are, or like if you want to define your own success, it takes time. And we are all running behind someone else's definition of some things, whether it is success, happiness, or clarity, awareness, growth, or whatever it is. And I think it's very important to go very slow to run really fast. I'm someone who is into running, and there is my coach always say, you have to run slow to run fast. And that's been something I've been applying all like throughout my like since last 2 3 years. I've been applying that throughout my life, and I've been seeing drastic changes in my life where I get to observe what is happening around me and I get to be a part of that. Because most of the time what happens is, as we go on and try to reach somewhere, we kind of forget what is happening around, and once we look back, there might not be anyone with you, or there might not be something that you have gained, or something you might be having all the things that you need, but you still will feel the void that you have. So one thing I would say is just stick to the roots, be where you are. Like, you can make it, you can go global even by being local, or even by being rooted as well. So that's something. Take it slow, be rooted, be grounded, and be humble, be kind, be empathetic. That's one thing. Another thing is, obviously, we all are kind of struggling with ourselves. We all have our own doubts, our own dilemmas, our own questions that we ask on a daily basis to ourselves. So one thing is that we are really not our thoughts. We are much more than that. We really are much more capable, and we are much more than what we really think we are. So don't restrict yourself to your thoughts and the questions and the overthinking or the anxiety that you have to pull yourself down. Just force yourself to work on that, to work on yourself, and to come over there. And just don't ever depend on motivation. Just go and get things done. And motivation, or that grit or that perseverance, is all that matters, and rest of the things automatically happens. And so-called motivation only happens when you are curious, when you learn things, when you experiment, and when you make mistakes, and when you learn from that, and once you grow. And only when there is progress, you get to basically observe, or you get to experience the motivation. And for that, you have to force yourself to create that progress. So I think this could be something. Consistency is something. Whatever you're doing, keep on doing, believe in yourself. People might tell you other ways, but ultimately only time can tell, okay, you're right or wrong. But until then, you have to row the boat and see where it takes. So I think that could be the thing. So I'm just, again, I think I'm still figuring out what it is. So maybe at this point of time, I think this is what I would say as advice.
So thinking about ILN and our app and how we try and really help other people to be successful, what is your favorite thing or favorite feature?
I've been kind of using the app for a few days now. And one thing I've been like in that hooked me up is the functionality is not just the goals over there, or like not just the tracker. It's like a one spot like dashboard that I have for all the progress that I've been looking for. Like, for example, whether it is about tracking my day to day task, or like whether it is my goals, whether it is the mistakes that I make, or whether it is about any ideas that I want. There is a portal where I get the ideas. There are like experts speaking about things, sharing content over there. So it's like a one spot for all the growth, that like everything that I wanted at one place. So that is something that I've been like that I've really liked. And also obviously we don't get up like we I think I've never seen a place where you have a social media basically for helping you grow in life. And that's a very, very different and a very interesting and a very awesome concept. So I think that's something that I've found really fascinating about ILN and the app that I've observed, and the dashboard and the interface that I have. And it's very easy as well. So it was like nobody helped me with logging in. So I just went in and checked, okay, this is so cool, so simple. So I think it's going to help a lot of people. And yeah, that's something that I'm looking forward to. And I really like the interface as well.
I do want to give you a moment to say how people can get in contact with you, whether that's Instagram, your email, however you'd like for them to get in contact with you, if you can bring value to them in some type of way.
Absolutely. I think I am available more on Instagram and on my email. So my Instagram is at @rizmango, at the rate RIZMANGO. And similarly, my email ID is contact@rizmango@gmail.com. So you can reach out to me over any of these platforms, and I make sure that I reply and just connect with every DMs that I receive, because if you're taking time to reach out to me, I make sure that I really respect and value your time, and make sure that if I could do something for you, I make sure that I do that as well. So please feel free to just ping me and just reach out there. We can make a new connection and learn from each other.
Happy to have you today. You gave our listeners some great tips, some great advice. Again, just thank you so much for taking the time out to come and speak with us.